that, let me go through the conditions of sale, and then we will get into the auction itself. So the housekeeping, 53 Helena Street, legally described as an estate and freehold. It is, get this, 1,249 square metres of prime land. It's lot 51 on deposited plan 61076. All this information contained in certificate of title NA17C folio 5AA. Chattels that stay with the property are noted in the contract. If you're interested in the property, you know what the chattels are. Folks, the conditions of sale have been on display throughout the period of the marketing, and again this afternoon before the auction. Contained within the conditions of sale of the terms here bidding, they simply state the property shall be offered for sale by public auction and subject to the vendor's reserve price. The highest bidder whose bid I accept will be the purchaser. The amount of the highest bid, the purchase price. If a dispute arises regarding any bid, I'll simply re-offer the property back to you at the last undisputed bid. Vendor reserves the right for me to bid on their behalf. If I vendor bid, it's at a level below the reserve, just done to keep the auction flowing, and the vendor reserves the right to refuse any bid or to withdraw the property from sale at any time before it's sold without disclosing the reserve price. There's a 10% deposit required on the fall of the hammer. Settlement on offer, so some really good flexibility here from Malu and Carol. We know that the developers love that little bit of extra time, and for this property that is certainly available. Settlement 3 months out to 6 months. Any time in between, entirely your choice. I first went to this property probably about 7 or 8 weeks ago, and I couldn't believe it. You drive down the driveway and this land just opens up in front of you. It is absolutely pancake flat. It is so easy, I would imagine, for developers in the future to be able to put on site all sorts of different options. A great location in Helena Street. It's down near the end, so down the quiet part of Helena Street. And of course, anything that opens straight out onto Dombuck Road is always now really, really popular, whether you're going downhill and into Swanson in the back of the Waitakaris, or whether you're going uphill and through Massey and accessing the rest of Auckland. So this property, for developers in particular, would tick so many boxes. Before I move on, it doesn't have to be a developer. This is one of those sites where a family could build multiple dwellings to live in together, where you could have it's so big, you could have a tennis court and a swimming pool and a mansion all on site. We think the buyer's going to be a developer, but it certainly doesn't have to be. This is primo land in a fantastic location and has all sorts of future values. The other thing that you could do here, of course, is buy, rent the property out and land bank. Properties like this will only appreciate in value as Auckland land becomes more scarce and more expensive. All right, before we get underway, just confirm today's auction held in accordance with the Real Estate Institute Code of Practice for Auctions. If you're bidding at auction, you must disclose to us your residency or citizenship status. And of course, if you're the lucky winners, to supply to your solicitor your IRD number and a New Zealand bank account number. Before I start the auction, folks, I need to tell you this. With this property and a couple of other development properties that we have on the market, we are now getting buyers who are saying to us, we can't bid at auction, but we want to make an offer straight afterwards. My architect isn't organised and ready, or I haven't quite got my finances in place. There are multiple reasons. So if you don't bid and buy the property during the auction, you will be facing more competition after the auction from conditional buyers. Before we go to conditional buyers, we give you the opportunity to get involved, to negotiate perhaps with Right Now and get 57 Helena Street onto your portfolio. All right. I'm going to start the bidding on behalf of the vendor at an easy $1.5 million at $1,500,000. We'll go in 20s, make it 1.52. Ladies and gentlemen, wakey, it's your turn. All you need to do is tap your bid into the chat box at the top left or bottom right of your screen. At $1,500,000, look for your 1.52. I'm not going to bend a bid again. If you bid me the 1.52, it puts you in the box C. At $1,500,000, bid me the 520. At $1,500,000, you're done. First call in at $1,500,000. Just slow down, give you a little bit of time. At $1,500,000, second call in. Remember what I said, if you bid now, you might not be competing with other buyers or other conditional buyers. If you don't bid and Jack's taking other offers later on today, then you may face serious competition. at $1,500,000. Third call. Well, folks, at 1,500,000, that is below the vendor's instructions, obviously, and below a level that the vendors would accept. I'm going to pass in 57 Helena Street. If you've got conditional interest in the property, you need to let Jack know of your interest. If you're logging off, if you're finished for the day, have a great Christmas. If you're staying on, we have a couple more auctions. Ladies and gentlemen, we might see you very, very soon. Otherwise, thank you very much.